Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are digging into a really fascinating choice that honestly almost every business is facing when it comes to AI. Is it better to go with the raw power of an integrated giant, or do you need the flexibility of an independent builder? We're going to put Salesforce's Agentforce head-to-head with Raia AI to see what we can learn.
And look, this isn't just about picking a piece of software. The analysis we're diving into frames this as a much bigger, more fundamental decision. It's really a choice between two core philosophies. Do you bet the house on one massive, powerful ecosystem, or do you build for flexibility, for independence right from the very start? So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with those two big philosophies. Then we'll tackle the ecosystem question. After that, a deep dive into a 10-point comparison. We'll talk money, predictable versus pay-as-you-go. And finally, we'll wrap up with a framework for choosing your own path.
All right, let's get right into the heart of it. The whole debate really boils down to this, and it's a simple question with huge implications. Is it better to embed your AI deep inside a single, powerful ecosystem like Salesforce? Or should you be building custom AI agents that can pretty much operate anywhere on any platform you want?
And that brings us right to the first major fork in the road that the analysis points out, this ecosystem question. You really have to ask yourself, how much does platform independence actually matter for your long-term game plan?
The source we're looking at puts a huge emphasis on this idea of platform lock-in. You've probably heard this term thrown around, but it's absolutely critical here. It's all about how much freedom you'll have down the road to switch things up, to adapt your tools without being, completely stuck with one vendor. So, when you look at Agentforce, the analysis is crystal clear. It is built to live and breathe inside the Salesforce world. Think of it like a native citizen. It's deeply woven into Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, all of it. Its number one job is to be a helper for your reps who are already living inside that Salesforce UI all day long.
Now, on the complete flip side, you've got Raia AI. Its whole design philosophy is to be platform-agnostic. The entire idea is that you can deploy these agents wherever you need them, on email, SMS, a web chat, you name it, without being handcuffed to one specific CRM. This is their direct answer to avoiding that platform lock-in we were just talking about.
Okay, so how do these totally different ways of thinking actually play out in the real world? Well, the analysis gives us a really detailed 10-point comparison of what you get right out of the box. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. All right, so the analysis actually highlights 10 specific areas where these two platforms are just different right from the jump. Let's walk through them.
First up, memory and human interaction. The analysis points out that with Agentforce, you might have to manually set things up to store conversation history. Raia AI, on the other hand, has long-term memory just built right in. But check this out, the one-click human takeover. The ability for a person to jump into a live chat in real time, that can be an absolute game changer for customer experience when things get complicated. Okay, next up, how do these agents actually get to work? With Agentforce, they have to be triggered from inside Salesforce. But with Raia, they can be kicked off by all sorts of external events, like a customer filling out a form on your website. And that ties right into multi-channel support, the ability to keep one single coherent conversation going across SMS, then email, then live chat. That's highlighted as a really big deal.
Now this next point, this one is fascinating. It's about what it's actually like to build and teach these things. The analysis argues that, yeah, Salesforce is low code, but to build really complex agents, you might find yourself needing to write some serious code. It positions Raia as a true zero-code builder. And look at that feedback loop. It's the difference between learning from reports tomorrow versus your AI learning and getting smarter in real time, right in the middle of a conversation.
And finally, let's talk admin control. The source contrasts looking at dashboards after the fact with watching a live stream of conversations as they happen. It also points to big differences in how you can control costs and, this is a big one for the tech folks, how much you can actually tune the underlying AI models. So, really, the trade-off seems to be between the deep integration of Agentforce and the super granular control that Raia offers.
Okay, let's talk about the money, because how you actually pay for all this, well, it leads us to two fundamentally different pricing philosophies, and this really shapes how you'd think about using these platforms.
So the choice you're presented with is this. Do you want a predictable, fixed monthly cost for everything? Or do you prefer a variable cost where you only pay for what you actually use? It's budget certainty versus pay-as-you-go flexibility.
And here's how that breaks down in practice, according to the source. Raia AI is framed as that predictable investment. You have your monthly fee, your one-time setup cost, and that's it. Agentforce, on the other hand, is pay per conversation. Now that could be great if your volume is low and predictable, but it also means your costs could really spike if things suddenly take off.
So with all of that in mind, how in the world do you actually choose? Well, the analysis gives us a really clear framework to help you figure out which one of these paths makes the most sense for your business, your strategy, and how you actually operate.
So, according to this analysis, who is Agentforce for? Well, it's pretty clear. It's for the company that is all in on Salesforce. If your entire world lives and breathes in that ecosystem, and your main goal is to add AI to your existing workflows, then this is presented as the obvious path forward.
And on the other side of the coin, the analysis suggests Raia AI is the move for businesses that prize independence above everything else. If you need a custom solution that has to talk to a bunch of different systems, you want a budget you can count on, and you're looking for more of a development partner than just a product, this is positioned as your best bet.
So, let's just boil this whole thing down. Here's the final positioning matrix from the analysis. And you can see, it really comes down to 4 key strategic differences. Are you platform agnostic or tied to the ecosystem? Is your investment predictable or usage-based? Is the focus on a specific industry or the general enterprise? And is the approach custom development or configuring a platform?
And that leaves us with the one core question that this entire analysis is built around. When you look at your own business, your own goals, what's truly more valuable to you? Is it the deep, seamless power that comes from integration? Or is it the freedom and the flexibility that comes with independence? The right choice for you depends entirely on your answer to that question.